Hello everyone, my name is Gaurieka, and today I'm going to be reading you a book that's called Interpreter of Winds by Feroz Ahmed. So I'm going to be reading you 1 and 2 today. I will be reading 3 and 4 in another video for you. Before I begin, I'd like to tell you a little bit something about myself. My name is Gaurieka, I'm 14 years old, and I've always loved reading since a very young age. So let's begin. Interpreter of Winds. That afternoon, under the light, a spider that had just hatched scurried up the table. It stood on tiptoe and waited. Moments later, it stretched its abdomen, producing fine threads of silk. The spider allowed the column of rising air to warm its threads, caressing and delicately undressing them. I watched all of this silently, but did nothing. The spiderling then flew from the table, its threads propelled by the soft updraft. The wind brought it places, sometimes the top of the world. In 1924, a British expedition team discovered a spider on the crown of the Himalayas. That was what he liked to tell me. The stories of our world, he once told me, are shaped by winds. The history of Egypt was altered by it. Let me tell you the history. It begins with a king who lived in a palace of glass. It was a story told many, many days ago, before he entered his deep sleep, hence carrying with him the fragmented histories of the world into his dreams. Sometimes I wish he would tell me less of his histories, but more of the role that faith plays in them. Since then, I had roamed the edges of the marketplace every morning, finding items to bring back to moisten his lips, so that even in dreams he would remain nourished to complete his histories. But ever since he had remained still, while time moved on, my memories of him had begun to diminish. As his beard began to overrun the uneven landscape of his face, I started to forget how he looked like, save for those pink lips which I moistened every morning, and whose slight quiver at the wetness of my touch told me he still lived. There is a history, they say, which is recited only upon the impending loss of a loved one. They say it's a story of love decorated with the trappings of a scholar obsessed with his scholarship. Some say it's a story of scholarship, an obsession with scholarship decorated with the trappings of a love story. Listen. Now I'll be moving on to number 2, which is the history of Amir Hamza